name's John, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here this evening to celebrate not only with the Children's Council but also the elections for the YPC, which I'm really excited about. And I'm joined by two people on stage, Chris Burns, who's been standing as a candidate in Area 1 in the recent weeks, and also by Phil Fuller, also a YPC member himself, but who's been supporting and mentoring Chris in his campaign. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to interview both of them and ask them a few questions. So first question goes to you, Chris. How have you found the whole election process, and how do you think being part of the Children's Council has helped you?
I have found the whole election progress quite easy, and some bits made me think a lot, like writing my manifesto. Being part of the Children's Council has given me a lot of confidence and self-esteem, as well as helping me to mature as a person.
Brilliant. Now Phil's had lots of experience of being part of the YPC, and he's been one of the mentors for the Children's Council now for quite a while, and he's been supporting you through your campaign. Can you tell me, how has he supported you?
Phil has supported me through my campaign by helping me to do my registration form. He has helped me to think of what I would like to do to help and support other young people in my area, and give me ideas of what I would put in my manifesto.
Brilliant. Now I'm going to ask Phil a question. What's been the best thing, Phil, about seeing Chris go through the whole process for you as a mentor?
Well, as you know, that I've known Chris before as a mentor and other Children's Council members, and I know that Chris has been looking forward to being on the YPC if he gets elected. Over the last year I've seen that he's matured as a person, grown more confident and got more self-esteem in himself over the year. So I just want to say well done, and we're all proud of you.
Brilliant. Now final question goes to Chris. What would it mean to you if you find out that you've been elected for Area 1 later on with the results?
It would mean a lot for me, because it gave me a chance to get the ideas of what other young people think needs changing in Area 1, as well as the city as a whole. I want to fight for young people's voice to be heard. I look forward to working with the rest of YPC members and bears. Also, I would like to thank Tina, Alan, John and the rest of the Children's Council for their continued support, and I will miss them if I get elected.
Well done, Chris. Thanks very much. Good luck for later on, and also thanks to Phil for agreeing to be interviewed this evening. Okay.
Before you go, John,
sit back down.
because you interviewed a load of other people before, we'll turn the box now and interview you. And he didn't know nothing about this till now.
Yep,
okay.
he just told us.
So you want let Chris start with the first question?
Okay, what's your best interview you have ever done?
The best interview I've ever done. What, apart from this one? Or one I've dressed for? I think when Paddy Ashdown came last May to visit the Community Media Hub was pretty cool, talking about not only getting people involved in sort of community media and stuff, but also in sort of campaigning and how important it is to vote and get involved in elections. And I think it's probably a great time to say, it's been brilliant supporting Bez, and I think she's done an absolutely cracking job in pulling together the Choose or Lose campaign with the banners, the photo shoot outside the town hall, allowing us to put it in Saw magazine. So when good, I can give it to you, but you allowed us to do it. And also seeing how well the Facebook group's gone. So yeah, that's been, I think, my best one, because he was really saying about, it's about more than party politics. It's about getting people involved in the democratic process, and I think this is what's been great about this.
What's been the most difficult interview you've done?
This one, most difficult interview. If I'm honest with you,
Except for this one.
except for this one, if I'm honest with you, I remember I went with Nancy and Vicky, who are the editors of our Older People's News Agency, Senior Eye, to Lowsby Lane, and Age Concern had just opened a shop, and they sat outside. And I said, right, had my little camera, and it was like action. And Tim, the manager, walked out with 2 coffees, put them down, and he sat down. So they said, right, Tim, let's interview you. And it was 11 o'clock, and that's when Lowsby Lane becomes pedestrianised, and all the trucks went past, and all the cars, and there was people on bikes. And we just sat there laughing for about 3 minutes. It's actually on YouTube, I left it on there. And you can still see it when you actually get the interview. So that was probably the hardest one.
Okay, so what do you think about Wave and how it's progressing?
question. Brilliant. Well, it's the third edition since this came out about a week or so ago. And what's great is it's been a real partnership between the young people of Wave. I think there's about 280 of them now on the Facebook group. And when I originally approached the Leicester Mercury and said, look, could we work in partnership? We want to contribute some money to it that the young people had gotten themselves, and we went off and wrote the bid and got the money from Mediabox. So it's completely independent of everybody. I think it's gone from strength to strength, and to see 70,000 copies of it come out and see people like Belinda on the front and, back Belinda's campaign, and, Holly with her foot, and, Kate having the opportunity to be the editor and the youngsters in it as well, I think is brilliant.
What do you think the future of media is in Leicester?
This isn't an interview, this is an ambush, isn't it?
You got worse ones.
Oh, right, okay. A short answer. I think it's great. I've been talking recently, I met with a guy called Perry Holmes yesterday, who's responsible for all of the elections in the city, for the national elections and next year's City Council, and we've been talking about setting up a community media hub just to do the elections and interview city councillors and prospective city councillors and getting involved in that. So to me, the media is about people like ourselves coming together and creating the news using the Wave and Saw magazine and stuff.
Okay, this is your last question. What is the worst thing? Where is your favourite place in Leicester?
Where is my favourite place in Leicester? I actually quite like the High Cross, actually. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a cliche.
She said that.
Did she? Yeah. Walking through the High Cross on a Sunday morning because there's no one there.
Exactly the same day as well.
And ending up in Costa Coffee and having Costa Coffee every Sunday morning with my parents at 10:30. So, yeah, cool.
And now this is the final question.
Final question.
What is the worst thing you got away with as a child? Bear in mind your parents are rude.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, what's really ironic is I've got a bag of stuff over there. My two boys leave from an editor here, and I carry this bag around, and people will know this little blue bag, and it's got 3 voice recorders in it, a couple of flip video cameras, an old black and white camera that Simon Parker bought me for my birthday. But I remember once when we were young with my brother, and my dad brought home an old dictaphone, like a really, really old one. And every time we use a voice recorder now, I always think of it, because I remember we snuck off into our bedroom, and we were saying things like, bum, into it. And a few other words like that, which were not quite as bad as some of the words they use now, but, I'm 43, so back then, when I was about 10, they were quite risque words to use, and I remember getting really, really, really told off. And I often think now, when I'm interviewing people with digital voice recorder, I always think of that story, so hopefully that was all right. Is that okay?
Yeah, well,
Brilliant. Right, thank you very much. Right, we're going to hand over to Lakeisha now, and she's going to do a presentation